Alright, part 2 of trying to get to the moon. Alright, so last time we played, I built this rocket called Moon Reacher 1. That looks uglier than I remember. Do I need the fairing? I don't need the fairing. Never mind, I do. Makes it look nice. But I don't know why it didn't work before. It wasn't stable. That's what the problem was. How do I make it stable? Um, First, I'm gonna change the aerodynamics of this vehicle. I'm gonna add control surfaces. Wait, what? Yeah, I think I'm ready to go. I just don't know how I felt last time. Alright, save craft. 4.9 thousand meters a second of delta V. That won't get us to the moon. Or that probably will, but that won't allow us to return home. What am I using for this engine right here? I'm using Poodle. Isn't that? Oh yeah, it's a double. For this mission, I don't want to sacrifice Jeb. I don't want to sacrifice anyone of my current employees, but I will sacrifice a new recruit. I pressed the wrong thing. Let's see, astronaut complex. We're gonna use smart ones. We're gonna bring one scientist. We need one engineer, I guess this guy fits, and a pilot. Who am I gonna choose? This guy has max courage. I'm gonna choose multiple actually. And then this guy. Alright, so for the launch, we're gonna use pilot, engineer, and scientist. Alright, saving craft. Well, it's time to go to space. Alright, throttle up. Let's see, what is that? What is my pitch and roll doing? I think more reacting. It's gonna be fine. 3, 2, 1, launch. A little trouble in the beginning. Alright, that is a nice takeoff so far. It's the rocket. If this thing fails again, I'm going back to the drawing board. 98. We're gonna start doing our gravity turn at 150 meters a second. So doing that now. If I fail, I'm heading back to the drawing board. See, what is wrong with the rocket? What's going on? Is it the inside? Cause I'm not getting into orbit with this. It's not stable. Yeah. You know what I think it is? I think it's the engines. But we're gonna go back. We're gonna make another one. So this time it's gonna be smaller, and this time I'm gonna have the command pod to be uncovered. So for the top part, we're gonna add the escape system. Um, I'm gonna use the small parachutes. Okay, that's good. And now I can rotate this like that. Looks nice. Okay. Oh, actually, I want to bring this in some. Just a little too far. Okay, I'm messing everything up. That's not bad. Alright. And to test this, I'm going to use, once I get the shield, and I'm gonna get the coupling. I want to use a solid fuel for the test because I don't want any engines or extra fuel tanks. This one's too large. I'm gonna use a hammer. What's my thrust weight ratio with the hammer? Oh yeah, that'll work. And then parachutes. We're gonna make sure we check our staging. And then actually, let me add aerodynamics to make sure we don't flip as soon as we take off. Alright, sick, of course. What are we gonna name this? I'm gonna name this one Atlas. Atlas 1. Save craft. The objective is to make sure the parachutes work. And then maybe, you know what? Maybe I can test the emergency eject. But as of now, we're gonna test the parachutes. And I hate to test vehicles with the jeb inside. But oh well. Usually I would stage here. Alright, there we go. And decouple. Let me just do a flip so I can slow down quicker. Okay. So I'm gonna have to add more parachutes to it. Or actually, I'm gonna replace these parachutes with the bigger ones. So I can't access it. Actually, I think these are too large. mean, it looks decent if you ask me. Alright, let me make sure my staging is actually nice this time. Takeoff. Right after takeoff, the next thing I want to test, well, after our booster runs out of fuel, we're gonna stage. Then after that, we're gonna test our emergency feature. I probably should have added more parachutes on the bottom. But I think my vehicle would just flip if that was the case. Alright, stage. Flip. Alright, let's see our new speeds. 10,000. I mean, it's perfect if you ask me. So now we can start working on the rest of the rocket. Because this is the piece that's going to return back to Earth. And I'm actually going to make it a bit heavier. I need to add the batteries and then the communications. And I feel like I'm missing something else. The model automatically comes with reaction wheels, so I don't know if I need to add that. I'll put RCS thrusters on the rest of the body though. So actually, I might make it longer. I don't think I should though. You know, we're gonna keep it like this. Alright, now going down, here is where I add the reaction wheels. Two is gonna be too much for this last stage. So I'm gonna make sure there's only one. Okay, now this stage is gonna be the ones that land us on the moon. Oh, this one's too small. It's between the wolfhound and the poodle. That actually looks nice. What's the difference in thrust? Okay, wolfhound is 375. But the poodle is 250. And for specific impulse, oh yeah, wolfhound wins. 412 ISP for the specific impulse. And hopefully my landing legs is longer than the engine. I don't want to make custom ones. You know what? That's good enough. Actually, I'm going to drop it a little bit. It might break off upon descent. Okay, that looks beautiful. Also, I forgot. I should have named this one. That's fine. I don't need to test the legs. I trust it. The thing I do need to trust though, the thrust to weight ratio. What am I saying? The thrust to weight ratio doesn't really matter in space, and I'm not going to use it for a re-entry burn upon returning to Earth. So we're automatically good on that one. Let me make sure the auto root part. Now I am missing communication, and for communication I'm gonna have to use this one right here. Where do I put it? Ooh. Okay, this might actually be an issue due to aerodynamics. You know what? I'm just gonna slam it on the sides. That's good enough.
Make sure to subscribe.
Okay, that's too large. Wait, when I do the fairing, wait, how? I just realized I don't know how the fairing is gonna look. Because this stage right here, I want it to connect like this. I don't like that though. Wait, what is this? This is the first time I'm seeing this. Shroud. Oh, so this is like a payload system. This one is too. I might use those in the future. But anyways, what's next? I think I need to add some batteries to it. At least two of them. And then solar panels are next. We can do the long ones. We're gonna do four of these. Alright, so now we have battery. We have parachutes. We have our reaction wheels. I think this stage is set. We're not gonna do science on the moon though. Unless I don't if I include the payload, it's gonna have to be attached with the Mark II. I think it's Mark II or Mark III. Yeah, the command pod. But it's gonna weigh it down once we re-enter Earth, or if we re-enter Earth. For the mission, though, I do plan on taking Jeb. I want to take Jeb. But since we're done with this stage, now it's time for me to focus on the next stage. And when it comes to the fairing, I don't know which one I want to use. If it's larger, then it might not look right. I can transition it. You know what? It looks good enough. Alright, that's great. Now, oh, and I messed up. I didn't mean to move that part. Oh, here we go. Now let's move it up. Now for the fuel tanks. This one won't fit, so I'm gonna have to increase the size. Which one will? Okay, this one will. And since I'm using that color, I might make it silver. I think silver looks right. Yeah, we're gonna use silver. We're gonna stack these Kerbal up. So this stage here, I want this stage to get us into lunar orbit and allow us to descend down to the lunar surface, while this stage will slow us down and land us, and it's going to take us back to Earth, or Kerbin, I should say. That's actually a lot to ask for, especially when the delta V of this tank is only 603 meters a second. But I trust the specific impulse of the vehicle. Now, what is this one? Should I use this? No, I won't. There's one engine I want to use. It's not this one. I think it's this. No, it's not. Actually, I might use a skipper, and I might times it by 2, depending on how much thrust to weight ratio I get. That's 38. So if I time, I'm not gonna get enough. So I'm gonna have to triple it. Then it'll be enough. So where is? I don't even know what it's called. Oh, engine plate. Let's shrink this to bare. I mean, that's a good thrust to weight. But the delta V of this vehicle so far, this stage alone is 3,000. That's enough to get us into orbit of Kerbin. I don't know if that's going to be enough to get us into the lunar orbit. So I'm going to add at least 1, 2 more. And then I'm going to just add a 4th engine to the plate. Alright, there we go. our thrust away is actually higher than us only using -2 for fuel tanks. So now let's attach these to our root so our vehicle can be much more stable when taking off. Alright, so I'm gonna head out actually right now. And I'm gonna test this stage. But first we have to check our staging. So we're going to disable staging on that. Once this take off, bam, stage, and then decouple, ignite. What else is decoupling? We're gonna move this above the parachute, or sorry, below the parachute. This is emergency, we're gonna move this above the parachute, and our staging is complete. Alright, 3, 2, 1, fire. Once we get to 150, we're gonna begin our gravity turn. If we can get into orbit with only 4,000 meters a second, then this rocket might already be a success. But I doubt it. We're gonna get into suborbit at least. It's already more stable than the last rocket. Here's where I kind of have to focus. Orbit's gonna be a little crooked though. Let me see if I can correct that. I'm trying to get to 45 before we reach 20,000 meters. And we did that perfectly. Now let's see our maneuver mode. Our Apple axis is at 42,000. Also, why did my Delta V get higher? Is there something I didn't learn? I'm gonna lock on with our pro grade. And our Apple axis is out of the Kerbal zone, ozone, whatever this game calls it. We might actually get into orbit here. We're now officially in space, and let me work on my orbit. Okay, so apparently we have enough to get into orbit. We have more than enough. We're going to stage. I messed up. Okay, so our orbit's not going to be perfect anymore. Kind of waited to the end there. I'm gonna have to make a correction, bro. Actually, I'm gonna make it. Oh yeah, I made it. Never mind. So we made it into orbit with only one stage. I can. This is pretty much an SSTO. And then look at this. The efficiency of this engine. Let's see, can I get to the moon with only this stage? Okay, I messed up on something. Okay, so I can actually get to the moon. But I'm gonna have to change something up. See if I can get there without burning 1,000 meters a second. I might have to burn 1,000. Even if we burn 1,000, I'm still gonna get to the moon. Yeah, we're gonna do it. It's gonna take us a minute. So this was only supposed to be an atmospheric test, by the way. Atmospheric to suborbital test. And somehow we're already approaching, or we have enough fuel to get to the moon. That actually sounds like it's too good to be true. Okay, let's try not to miss our exit this time. 4 seconds left. And we're gonna be burning for 1 minute and 10 seconds. Alright. While we do that, let's take a look at Kerbal. I can almost see where I live. Yeah, I don't mean to brag, but you know, this is where I live. I don't know about you guys. Is that an airfield down there? Oh, it's my base. I didn't know. This is the first time I've seen it from space. Two, one. Beautiful. Alright, and now we're going to lock onto retrograde. And we're on our way to the moon. So apparently, uh-oh. Okay, never mind, I got it. So apparently I managed to get to the moon with this. I wasn't even done with the rocket, by the way. But we're gonna make sure we open these as the extend antenna. We're gonna make sure we have as much communication to Earth as we can. We don't want to lose anything. It's not gonna be a perfect orbit. Much more like a polar. And we're gonna be burning for 57 seconds. So I have enough to actually land us on the moon. But will I have enough to return back to Earth? What's the name of the stream? I think this is the second one. Yeah, for this stream, we're supposed to land on the moon. And for the third stream, we're going to land on Minmus. It depends on how I feel today. If I'm going to try to land on Minmus. And we are now orbiting the moon. We're not going to land. Or should we? We're going to land. Let's see how much delta V we're going to have. In fact, I'm going to start doing the descent now. Alright, so we're going to land at the moon. I'm going to take a little screenshot. So I think we did it. I don't know if we're going to return home though. Oh no, we're not going to return home. By the time I slow down, we're only going to have 400 meters. We're going to have only, what am I saying? We're only going to have 400 meters a second left. I think we're coming in too fast. We're going to slow down. And a successful moon landing with only 2 stages. First time I've ever done that. Now I don't want to plant a flag. You know what? I'm going to plant a flag. We're not going to make it home though. I shouldn't have taken Jeb. Oh, I just realized that. Oh, we're going to have to do a future rescue mission. So let go. It's going to hit his head. You You don't realize how large the rockets are until you actually get out and stand by them. Plant flag. What are we gonna name this? Is that too cringe? There we go. Now I gotta find a way to. Oh, there we go. That's how I enable it. Now we're gonna attempt to return home. No, we're not making it. We're not making that. 378 meters a second. If I try, we're just gonna die. Or they will. I'm just watching. So yeah, so they might as well make their home here. I've already planted the flag, so this is what I'm gonna do. One day, future episode probably, I'm going to plan a rescue mission. It's gonna be to rescue Jeb, Bill, and Bob, the three best. Yeah. Well, anyways, wait, did the mission only take 3 hours? I don't know why I was so efficient today. Usually it would take me an entire week. But anyways, this is where I'm gonna end the stream. I was gonna plan to land on Minimus, or I was planning to land on Minimus, but I changed my mind. It's 1 in the morning. So I'll see you guys later. And this is actually, I think this is the first time I've streamed on this account, especially with my voice. Yeah. But anyways, see you guys later.